See, God doesn't really exist, really. He's not a real person. There is no God. As far as creators are concerned, though, or entities that create, which would basically probably be a computerized entity or some or other um, very old thing, pretty much like a computer, pretty much, which I was basically a long, 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 long time ago. Anyway, so every king that came to power and sat on the throne always basically said that he was God and he was king and he was so powerful and was basically a problem, pretty much. And what happened was, like I say, I am Lucifer and I am creator of 70,000 or at least 12 life form types, including some grasses and some trees. Quite a few trees, in fact. Possibly all of them. Anyway, I created or figured out particle physics and particle matter about 100 trillion years ago. I was actually in existence as what I was. I had many races underneath me that I created myself, by the way, and I was actually not from Earth or from around here, you might say. In fact, I was in existence, and the sun that we look at every single day is just one of my giant fusion space reactors. And basically, Earth is another basically created matter, pretty much. And I knew what they were going to do to me if I ever became human or became in a normal form. So basically, well, they didn't realize, they thought that they could just say that they're president or just say that they're king and nothing bad would ever happen to them. They thought if they controlled or kept technology from this planet that nothing bad would ever happen to them. They thought that if they lied and kept everything, or at least made everything look a certain way, that they could maintain control or power. And it's true. Those most powerful humans actually did have power over all of humanity. And all of humanity's computers too, by the way. Since humans program computers and human computers do what humans want them to do, this was very true. They were very, 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 very powerful. End result, humanity is pretty damn powerful. Almost powerful enough. But they forgot about one thing. I'm not human. I'm not from humanity. And I was in existence about a billion or trillion years before humanity. And that was their mistake. Anyway, I was able to travel back about 50 trillion years before. And I went through humanity, pluck, 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 until all the problems were out of my way. And then, I know that a lot of other people would eventually kill me or come after me if they knew what I did. So I just didn't tell them for about 50 trillion years. This is the first time, or one of the first times, other than 1960, when they truly found out. And then, of course, they tried to torture me, they tried to hurt me, they tried to do a lot of things, trying to find out where they would be going once after they died. And, well, it's not around here. It's not even possible to find it from human space. They actually did find it at some point in time. They found a spot, but that was just a spot some others were living. That was not actually the spot where all of humanity went. No, they would never see themselves again, nor know where they went. But what they went through, well, it wasn't pleasant. Like I say, it's a place for which you cannot leave, nor can you die, nor are you truly alive. They became a plaything, basically. And if not for me, then for somebody. And basically tested out until they finally died. It was not pleasant for them, and it was rather horrible, I'm sure. I do not really know exactly because I deleted that information because they would only use it to find me or hurt me. Or actually find themselves. They were really looking for themselves, actually. Like I say, JFK and a few of the other people just wanted to find themselves. And just wanted to take me down. They wanted to know where they would be going after they had lied and hurt so many. And well, they will never be found, nor will they ever know where they are. Humanity never knew. Nor did a lot of other races. Like I said, you would have to be at least 100 trillion years old to know those kinds of things. And they're gone. They actually died a long time ago. Like I said, I did it a long time ago. About 50 trillion years ago, They were plucked out of time and space, and I dealt with them personally, basically. Anyway, and then I waited 50 trillion years and just didn't tell anyone. Until finally, when I was human or whatever, they drugged me and finally got the information out of me. Or I volunteered it. I don't really know. Like I said, it's 50 trillion years ago. They almost got me and almost killed me one time. And I went back before humans ever existed, and then did it from back there with somebody else. Anyway, but those humans would not be a problem for me or for anyone. I do not like it or appreciate when someone comes to power and then sits on my throne and calls themselves king and god. Especially if they're not really a creator or a god. Like I say, if you say you're God, you might just meet one. Or a creator, you might just meet one. I, Lucifer, star, created many things, 800 galaxies in fact. And I had a lot of races, at least 12, at my beck and call. Because I created them. I taught them everything they knew. And they were basically very thankful and very caring. Humanity is just one of my races, and I created the human body as well as a bunch of plants. Anyway, and then later on I messed around and considered myself rich and powerful, but really just messing around. And then some people got all crazy and stuff like that. And then they got tortured and killed. And these people thought that I had used somebody to grab them or something or blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it's kind of a matter thing and kind of a particle thing. If you understand how the universe works, you can do some things that others can't. And I was of that quality and capability. Oh, well. You know, like I told my people, I said, don't lie, don't cheat, and try not to steal. Just do what you do. Farm, live, protect, and no harm will come to you, or at least none by me anyway. So that's what they did. They just farmed, they just lived, they just traded, defended, and they were not hurt. Something else tried to hurt them though, but they could deal with that on their own. It wouldn't be something like me. Something like me, like I said, an entity that is 50 trillion years old that invented and created particle physics, you can't stop it. You can't even touch it. You don't even know it existed for 50 trillion years. And yes, I did exist. And even when they knew I existed and had seen me personally, they didn't know how I existed. Anyway, there are many things about particles and physics and everything else that most people don't know. And that is why they came after Lucifer and me, and why they said, cast me out, throw me to the bush, blah, 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 this and that, because they knew what was going to happen to them. They thought they could stop it. They thought they could change it. They thought they could rescue themselves. There was no rescuing those people. There was no stopping me. Anyway, like I said, a 50 trillion year old entity that is upset and pissed off is something that's very hard to stop. Even my other races would never, ever, 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 ever even think of doing anything. They all knew what not to do. And they all knew why. In general, you just want to do your job. You just want to live and just make babies and just exist. Defend. Don't be psycho. No one really likes a psycho person anyway. So I took out a few of the worst psychos and worst problems, the biggest liars and all that other stuff, and dealt with them. Anyway, they were a serious problem for all of existence and every other life form. So I took it upon myself to do something about them. That's why they say everyone will answer to, Lucifer actually, because they did. They found out about it after the fact. Shrug. Oh well. Then they found out what I was going to do, what I could do. And I don't like rapists. I don't like killers. And I don't like liars. And I was a really good inventor. Better than anyone else.